Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now. So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Something custom Kevin console Papa console Felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Wanna Bet. We appreciate you guys for listening, consuming, however you do it. If you're watching more than listening, again, please subscribe on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We would greatly appreciate that. Once we get a hold of some things, we're going to try to give you guys some audio exclusives, some parlays we'll put together that will just be available on those channels, frankly, to incentivize people for listening as well as watching. We know we launched this as a visual show. It is a TV show. A lot of people are used to just getting it that way. But help us out if you listen as well, and we will give you guys, hopefully, a reason to with some original content. That way, if you're new to the show, Ben and I give you our favorite bets every single day, 7 days a week, across all sports that we are interested in gambling on. First, second, third down, three favorite plays since yesterday. Fourth down could be fourth and short, a way to get you paid quickly in these games, or fourth and long. A long shot bet, going for it on fourth and long rather than punting. Or it could be a futures bet. It doesn't get you paid for a long time. Overtime, football season, and football season. We have soccer or football parlays for you every single day, because why not? And we have usually more than one per day. Double overtime, triple overtime. And as always, we're fully transparent. We show you what we did last night, how we're doing. And I continue to crap the bed. Look, a third touchdown out of Jacoby Brissett would have been great. We told you guys we were on money line. For the purposes of this show with Arizona, we pegged it to 3 touchdowns from Brissett. We had the rushing tush-push touchdown. They got so far up on Dallas, they could take the air out of the ball. We were a little bit worried about that. We told you Arizona's defense is legit. We told you Carolina's the Cardinals are the smart play. The Sunderland match, look, they dominated the second half. There were 4 opportunities for penalties to be called in Sunderland's behalf in that game. They got none, including a blatant handball in the 85th minute that I cannot believe VAR didn't at least award the penalty. Hey, keeper stops the penalty. Pickford makes the save. We miss. That's one thing. But really, the officials were complete shite in that match. We were both, I think everybody was on McBride in this game, Ben. And McBride got a little bit less target share than normal because Harrison went off. He still got enough to get us 6 catches and 60 yards, except, well, he ended up with like 5 on 55. And there were some miscommunications there that normally don't happen. All our bets in real time available in the Super Discord. How did last night go for you?
Wasn't great. It was all over BYU. We only finished down 40 cents, though, because we had the NBA parlay cash. The Knicks, Wizards' fourth quarter was a lot more low scoring than we needed it to be, but they did go over with a late 3, I believe. We had 4 missed free throws.
Thank God.
Yeah, that cashed me because I had Keyshawn George 2+ threes, Cat 8+ rebounds. He has 10 at halftime, and then the alternate over in the game, 219.5. Felt good heading into the fourth quarter, to which the teams are tied like 14-14 in the fourth quarter with like 4 minutes to go. So I was a little worried, but it did cash for us, thankfully. Jake Ferguson, we had his first half receiving yards. We had his regular receiving yards, those cash. Bam Knight, I'll be honest, I did not realize DeMercado was going to come right in. Sounded to me like they were frustrated with him, Gannon didn't want to play him.
They were pissed at him.
And all of a sudden, he's the go-to guy. Bam Knight was the play pass guy. So it is what it is there. And as I said with BYU earlier, they look good at halftime. And they just couldn't really score the ball. Twiller had the guys playing better than I thought he would in his first game.
Yeah, they got up 14. I was feeling pretty good about that because I took an alt line there, and then their offense collapsed, and Villanova started hitting threes. So shame on me for being overambitious and getting on that 2 different ways this early in the college basketball season. I'm going to make a lot of college bets this year. I have to remind myself not to do it too soon. But look, this is a big day. We've got Champions League football today and tomorrow, and some of these matches are kicking off in 40 minutes. So want to get straight to the bets of the day. And we will start with Arsenal, the Gunners. We like them to win 2-0 against Slavia Prague up in Praha. And we like them to also score at least 2 goals in this match, Beltway Ben. So Arsenal to win 2-0, which means they do not concede a goal while winning. And to score at least twice will get us plus 140. We've been on the Gooners quite a bit lately. 7 straight clean sheets. Outscoring teams 14-0 in that span. We can look at what they've done in the Champions League. A 4-0 thrashing of Atletico. 2-0 professional business-like handling of Olympiacos. And a 2-0 win in there as well. 2-0, if you want to go correct score, has been a very popular score line for the Gunners. That's hit for them 6 times. They've scored at least 2 goals in 6 of their last 8 games across all competitions. This is a major leap up for Prague. This is not the Czech League. This is an Arsenal squad that has the best defense on the planet right now. This is an Arsenal squad that a lot of people believe will win the Champions League and maybe win the double, Premiership and Champions League. Again, you want to sprinkle on a 2-0 score line, I wouldn't be mad at you. That's been very popular for the Gunners. But I just think they do the job here. Don't have to overly exert themselves in the process. And I like the fact they've been a little bit more prolific scoring really since October than they were in September. First down for you, Ben.
First down, we're going to Steph Curry assist prop, and he's only cashed this twice this season, 2 of 7 games. And the one of the 2 times he did, we cashed, and he went for 6, which we also will have in a parlay in a little while. Kuminga, we're adding in to get a fair price. He's over this in 6 of 7 games. Now, when you look at what the Suns are doing defensively, 28 assists per game they're allowing. That's bottom 5 in the NBA. And in their last 2 games, they're allowing 32. That is the second most in the NBA. This team is not playing much defense. Everybody knows that. They don't have a lot of guys healthy. A lot of the players that are playing are shooters and scorers. Not a lot of defense being played. Steph Curry, when you look at what he does offensively, we know how teams defend him. You're sending doubles at him. You're setting him up for good assist opportunities. He's a great passer. We just don't have to see it enough because the guy can shoot from any spot on the court. Now, I think the Suns are going to emphasize stopping him. We saw it a little bit with Wemby. I don't know if anybody has really seen how they defended Wemby, but they were sending doubles at him. And Wemby's a different player than Steph. It's not explaining that way, but it is explaining the way that their coach is going to go out of his way to stop the number 1 scorer and make other guys beat them. And when Steph feels that is the case, he doesn't force stuff. I mean, some of the shots that he hits, it looks like he's forcing, but it's just his shot. He's that good of a player, but he will pass the ball around. We'll just need guys like Kuminga to finish, and I think they will. As I said before, Steph Curry over 4.5 assists, Jonathan Kuminga 10+ points. Kuminga's done it 6 of 7 games, and that is minus 123. Steph's regular assist number is like minus 160. I just wanted to get us to a little bit more of a fair price here.
We've talked about teams in the NBA that have changed their spots from a year ago, and look, I was off on the Heat the other night in LA, but I did tell you, if you don't want my bets, just bet the over, because the Heat's now a dead over team, and we got 250 points in that game, and Miami, gave up on 130. To me, Phoenix is the example of the opposite. This time a year ago, roll out the ball. Beal, you shoot from all over. KD, you shoot from all over. Booker, you get your 35. Doesn't matter anybody's plus minus, right? Now it seems like they have a defensive plan. It seems like they have readjusted. And I think you're seeing Phoenix totals go down and Phoenix being a bit more of an under team. So I like where you're coming from there. And it's just something to sort of, you start monitoring these trends now that we're getting, a month into the season, you can kind of start drawing some larger scale macro level determinations about style of play and what it means for the gambling market. Second down, we're all over the Champions League today. I like Atletico Madrid. Half and full means they got to win the first half and they've got to win the match, and they've got to win that match by at least 2 goals. If they win by 1, we push. So Atletico half full plus Atletico -1. That's going to get us plus 110. Not super sexy, but you got to look at who they're playing. USG, a Belgian side. They're not even dominating really in the Jupiler League, like a much lower league than what we're seeing Atletico play in. La Liga, like the last couple times out for USG, 4-0 drubbing by an inner squad that wasn't going around hanging 4 on people at that time. 4-0 loss to Newcastle. Magpies ain't all that. Like, if you were on them over the weekend, you saw that. And I know they're better home than road, but still. Yes, USG went to PSV in match day 1 in the Champions League and got a 3-1 result, but I don't think that's where we are right now. Cream is rising in this competition. We saw it last match day. And because there have been so many blowouts, there's now pressure on the favorite, not to just win, but to win by 2, to win by 3, to win by 4. And I believe Atletico is going to be able to do that job here. They've kept 3 straight clean sheets in La Liga. You look at their recent results, 3-0 over Sevilla, 2-0 over Real Betis. Again, a higher level of competition than we're seeing USG face in Belgium. 6 straight wins at home for Atleti. 19-5 goal differential in that span. And again, I think 1 in the first half, 1-0 in the first half. Give us another goal or 2 in the second half, and let's keep that clean sheet stretch running. Second down for you, Ben.
We're going to college basketball here, and Jason and I talked a little bit off air before we started. Right now is not the time to attack college basketball a million different ways and play every game and do a lot of things. It's early in the year. We're trying to figure out which teams are which, how real are some of these transfers, especially in today's age. Maybe like 6 years ago, it was a little easier to pick the first few weeks, but now it's just so much nuance and all these different things. I'm going to be a little patient, but I do like this here. We're throwing Duke in to get us the plus money. Kentucky was at 28.5 yesterday when I liked it. Wake up this morning to which they're at 30.5. So we take them up or back to where they were, 28.5, and we're adding Duke in because I do not see Duke losing to Texas. We'll get to them again later in this. Kentucky's getting guys back. Like everybody saw what Georgetown did in that scrimmage against them, and it still was just an exhibition game. Everybody overreacted as they should. Georgetown looked really good. Kentucky didn't look as good as we thought. Jalen Lowe didn't play, and everybody knows he's on the Naismith Trophy list, and he's supposed to be very good for them this year. Good transfer from Pitt. Also on the other side, Denzel Aberdeen. He played a big role on that Florida team that won the national championship. Didn't get talked about as much because he was more of the dirty work guy, could shoot the 3 a little bit. He was a transfer here. Kentucky has a lot of money. They have the highest paid roster in college basketball. You have to expect them to come out against the Nichols team and show up. You look at Nichols. I'm a fan of theirs. Tavon Sadler from Baltimore was on the Maryland staff a few years ago. Always root for them. But look at their production from last year. Rob Brown transferred to Stony Brook. Jamal West, who's from Baltimore as well, transferred to UTEP. Michael Gray transferred to Wichita State. Byron Ireland graduated, and Ike Cornish, who was at Maryland, who we're quite familiar with, transfers to JMU. That's their top 5 guys, scorers and all that. Now, Ike Cornish didn't play a lot. He played 9 games, but when he was out there, he was one of their better players. It's going to take some time for them to get used to this squad. Owe is going to be one of the best players in the country. Odafe's brother, for anybody who doesn't watch a lot of college basketball, his brother has like 4 sacks in LA since being traded there. But when you look at what Nichols did last year, even with that team who was pretty good and turned some heads and did play well in conference, they played 2 top 25 teams. Cincinnati, when they were ranked, they lost by 37. Gonzaga, when they were ranked, they lost by 30. All we need is Kentucky to win by 28.5. We know Pope's going to have these guys playing well. They play good defense. We're going to get to that in a minute here because I do like the Nichols State team total under 61.5 and minus 110 if you want to play that. I just don't know that the offense is going to be flowing the way they want with all the production they lost and still trying to figure things out. And now you have to play at Rupp. That's a really, really tough arena to play at. So I do like Kentucky minus 28.5 and Duke to beat Texas, which we'll get to more later at plus 107.
Excellent. Third down, staying in Champions League. I don't get how this match is priced like it was. I grabbed the plus 150 on Real Madrid on the money line early in the week.
160.
You can get it at plus 160 now. Money's coming in on Liverpool. I don't quite get it. Yeah, the match is at Anfield. So what? Real's going on the road and spanking everybody. This is a Real team that beat Barca in the Clásico. This is a Real team that is loaded with firepower. Mbappe, top 3 striker on the planet. You're going to have Vinny Jr. running at this back line of Liverpool that's unsettled, that's shaky. They're going to attack them down the left flank. Real is vulnerable there. Liverpool's vulnerable there. I don't know who's playing right back for Liverpool. Whoever it is, his ass is in trouble. You've got Alexander Isak, who hasn't fit in that squad for Liverpool, now being banged up. Mo Salah having to play. They had to beat Villa over the weekend. They had to treat the Villa match like it was everything, which is why nobody played in the EFL match midweek, because they absolutely had to win because they had lost like 5 straight. So everybody overexerts themselves. Yeah, they win 2-0 against Villa. I didn't think they played exceptionally well. Villa hit the crossbar twice. Villa had opportunities inside the 18 that a team like Real will punish you, will put in the back of the net. Mo Salah is going to have to play more than he should. He doesn't look right. Ekitike, I think, is their best striker, but he needs a partner up top, and he'll probably be a lone wolf up there. Like, I just don't buy Liverpool. I mean, they've lost 6 of their last 8 matches overall, and you're looking at a Real team that's getting results. 15 goals scored in their last 6, and that's facing Juve. That's facing Barca. That's facing Valencia. That ain't Aston Villa, right? Champions League, they're 3-0 are Real. 8 goals scored, 1 conceded. They've scored at least twice in 9 of their last 11 matches. So give me Real Madrid on the money line. I think they win this game outright. I also have sprinkled on Real over 2.5 team goals plus 250. That's a half unit play. Real to get the net 3 times. If they score in the first 30 minutes on this one, live bet their total because the crowd will turn on Liverpool. They know this is a bit of a fugazi team. When you're not right in the back, and we're now into November, and you haven't really figured out your first choice striker partnership, and it might just be that the pieces don't fit, and you're facing a team as in form as Real, they're going to be up for going into Anfield and hanging 3 on them. Beltway Ben, third down.
We're going to go to an NBA assist prop here. VJ Edgecombe over 4.5 assists at plus 100. I love getting plus money here. He's over this in 3 of 6 games this year. Now, Tyrese Maxey is the point guard, but he moves around more than anybody in the NBA. He's one of the better scorers in the NBA, and they move him off ball because he can knock shots down setting up. He can knock shots down off the dribble as well, but we will see Edgecombe handling the ball tonight. I know Jared McCain's back. That does put a little bit of scare in you, but still he's not going to play 30-plus minutes. They're going to work him back slowly. He's missed a lot of time. I know it was the thumb injury, so he still should be getting cardio in, but they don't force guys back immediately and throw them into the fire. Edgecombe against the Bulls tonight. Now, this is 2 similar teams here. 2 teams saying, we're going to score. You have to keep up with us. The Bulls, they're allowing 30.2 assists per game, which is the most in the NBA. And then you look at what they've done at home. Oh, at home, they're probably better defensively. No, 31.8 assists per game, which is the second most in the NBA. They're not defending much. And even with that, they're saying, we're going to run and gun. You got to try to beat us. I think that's what the Sixers want to do as well. We should see a high-scoring game here. And if that's the case, this rookie who's getting tons of hype, and it's all well-earned, he's been awesome. He's going to be on the court 30-plus minutes tonight. He's done that most games. And when he's out there, can he score? Yes, but I do think when you have guys coming back that can give them more scoring, Edgecombe will be fine dishing out a little bit. He's already done it with what they've had. He's had games where he's gone for 30 and also added a bunch of assists to that. So I do like Edgecombe in this spot against a bad defense in a high-scoring game that we should be seeing a lot of run and gun.
That's
over 4.5 assists plus 100.
They're going to get their points. They're going to score their 125, and they've got a bunch of different guys who can do it. That offense, we saw it with our own eyes. Anybody, like even guys like Oubre for one rotation for half of a quarter could end up putting up 8 or 9 points.
Right.
And those assists are coming from somewhere because they're not going to it's not going to be all run and gun. It's not like they've got one guy who's so ball dominant that other people don't see it. 4th and long will be a long-term play for me. Give me my Towson Tigers to go back-to-back in the CAA. It'll always be the Colonial Athletic Association to me, but I guess it is now the Coastal Athletic Association. Towson won the league last year. They have trouble in the conference tournament, and they usually lose to Delaware. Guess what? Delaware left the conference, so they don't have to worry about that anymore. 2 of the best players in the conference, 2 preseason all-conference selections by the coaches are back. Taylor Tejada and Dylan Williamson. Saw them up close practicing yesterday. Saw them play against Loyola yesterday. Tejada, the reigning CAA Player of the Year, definitely added muscle. He worked on his outside shot even more. The fact they kept Williamson and Tejada is kind of shocking. Towson, under their coach, Paul Scarry, they understand the assignment. This is a D and rebounding league, and they dominated D and rebounding last year, home and road. They can take it on the road, and they did it without size. They added a 7-footer from Fresno, who's not starting for them, but because there are a lot of 7-footers in the CAA, Scarry went out and got one. This kid will be able to grab rebounds with the second team and hold possessions for them. They play a brutal brutal non-conference schedule. They'll be at Houston this weekend. It'll probably be an under game. They're a deeper team than a year ago. They got a right state transfer who I really liked with the second team yesterday in that game against Loyola. Like, they get people to play their style of rock fight. And I think they'll shoot the three ball a little better than they did a year ago as well. I don't totally love their scoring, but this is a team that was able to play on the road against Charleston and Wilmington last year and more than hold their own. And they're not the favorite. They're far from it. The betting markets are favoring Charleston. They're favoring Wilmington. So this is the third best odds to win the CAA. And frankly, look, they played St. John's in one of those covert scrimmages at St. John's. Yeah, they ended up losing by 10. And from what I hear, if they didn't want to use their whole bench, they could have really scared the shit out of Patino. So I like where the Tigers are, and I do think they can repeat as CAA champions. Fourth down, Beltway Ben.
Yeah, fourth down. We're going to a fourth and short play here. We're going to go with a bunch of different guys. We always love these plays. Miles Bridges, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, 4+ first quarter points, and Duke first half money line plus 146. That Bridges Zion Williamson matchup is interesting tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of scoring between the Pelicans and Hornets. And with that, you should have both of these guys getting it started early and often. Neither one of them is bashful. They like to shoot their shots, and they will get it inside. You can get it outside with both of them. And both of them will head to the free throw line at least once in the first quarter. Brandon Ingram on the other end. He has been great for the Raptors scoring. That's another team that wants to play fast. They want to score a lot, and they're doing just that. Ingram is doing this regularly. And Duke first half on the money line. I don't think Texas has what it takes to compete with Duke tonight. I am not a Duke fan. I'm actually a Maryland fan, so of course I'm a Duke hater. But I do like them in this spot. I didn't bet them at their spread. I lean them to cover, but I'm just taking them on their money lines in a bunch of different ways. I don't think this is a come out early, struggling a little bit, and then get right. I think they come out from the jump getting after it. So I do like them to beat Texas in the first half. Again, this parlay. Miles Bridges, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, 4+ first quarter points, and the Duke Blue Devils first half on the money line.
Excellent. Overtime, I've got three. I'm not going to belabor the point on the first one. It's going to rehash some of what we've already covered in the Champions League. You didn't have another fourth down, right? Okay. So we are sticking with Arsenal -1. Again, if they win by 1, we push this leg of the parlay. Atletico Madrid -1. Same deal. They win by 1, we push that leg of the parlay. Real Madrid, we've already played them at plus 160 to win the match. In this parlay, we're playing the Real Madrid double, which means they get a result at Anfield. They either win or they draw. As long as they don't lose, we cover that end of this. And then the Bayern PSG match, we're going over 2.5 goals. Like, I have a hard time thinking there aren't over 2.5 goals. Like, PSG has scored 13 goals in their 3 Champions League matches. PSG has scored in 9 straight matches and 13 of their last 14. We've got a Bayern team that's been absolutely nuts in terms of their goal-scoring prowess, right? They've scored 11 more goals than any other team in the Bundesliga, 33 goals in 9 Bundesliga matches. Harry Kane is arguably the most informed striker on the planet right now. He creates for himself. He creates with others. He finishes every way possible. We'll get to him in a second. I can't see this game playing out. And Vincent Kompany, the manager of Bayern, rested everybody over the weekend, despite the fact that they had a huge match against Leverkusen that could help decide the league. And he kept 7 of his starters on the bench. He still won 3-0, and he gave them a little bit of run, the Harry Kanes of the world and the Luis Diaz's, just to get their legs under him in the final 30 minutes, no stress. And they are all out. They're going to attack. He's going to play what sort of amounts to, at times 2 in the back and everybody pushing. I don't think he's scared that it's PSG. I can't fathom a scenario where both teams don't score, and I think we get at least 3 goals. So Arsenal -1, Atletico -1, Real double, Bayern PSG over 2.5 total goals, plus 544. We also love Harry Kane, who's got 2 hat tricks already this year. Hat trick Harry Kane. He's hit a brace 8 times. He's scored in every match he started except for 1. Harry Kane anytime goal, and both teams to score in that PSG Bayern match, plus 130. Let's go, Harry Kane. And then third overtime in NBA play I like tonight. Give me Orlando to beat the Hawks. and give me that Raptors-Bucks game to produce at least 229 total points. That's going to get you plus 130. Orlando lost earlier this season to the Hawks. Hawks without Trae Young. The Hawks can't defend. The Hawks aren't very good, and I don't think they're beating Orlando twice. Orlando, we talked early in the year, are they going to be able to score the ball? Well, they've scored 123 or more in 4 straight games. They are scoring the ball. They've picked up their tempo a little bit. I don't like the Hawks. I think Orlando's a better team. I know the Hawks have had their number a little bit in past years. That's another reason why I expect the Magic to show up tonight and get it done. The Hawks are 0-2 at home, and they've been blown out at home. And then the other side of it, I don't know if Freaky Freaky's playing tonight or not, Beltway Ben, but when they played without him against Golden State, that game still went bonkers and went over. It got us at least 230 points in that game. Their defense really tends to struggle when he doesn't play, and it's a Toronto team that can light it up. Toronto's defense has improved a little bit in the last couple times out, but you got to look at who they're playing. I think the Bucks can still score if Giannis doesn't play. If Giannis does play, it's a dead over game for me. This in the regular markets is pushing towards 240. We're taking it down as far as we can at 228.5. What you got in OT, Ben?
We have a few different parlays. We'll start with this one. Steph Curry, 6+ assists. VJ Edgecombe, 4+ assists. And Kevin Huerter, 2+ 3-pointers made. Now, we took Steph over his regular line. We're taking him up 1, which we did the last time we cashed him. We're taking VJ Edgecombe, 4+. We're taking him down a number. He's been over 4 in more than half of his games. Kevin Huerter, 2+ 3-pointers made. This is basically his regular line. But because we're adding the plus money with Curry, the minus 200 with Edgecombe, and Huerter at his regular line, we get plus 480 on this. Again, Steph Curry, 6+ assists, VJ Edgecombe, 4+ assists, and Kevin Huerter, 2+ 3-pointers made, plus 480. Start with Steph Curry. When he's gone over the 2 games that he has, the 2 games he's picked up assists, he's had 6. And we talked about it the last time. When he is passing, when he is in that mode, they add up and they move quick. He could get a double-double. That's an interesting play for tonight. VJ Edgecombe, talked about him before, not too worried about that. And then Kevin Huerter. This is the big one, 2+ 3-pointers made. He is their shooter, and he hasn't been shooting the ball great. Now, they have a very fair matchup, as I mentioned earlier, in a team who plays fast just like them. The Bulls are going to run and gun. The Sixers are going to do the same thing. They're going to be moving the ball quick. Huerter should get a number of open looks. And the Sixers are not defending the 3 very well. Teams are shooting the 3 very well against them. Kevin Huerter should have enough opportunities. So this is plus 480. Huerter, 2+ 3-pointers. Edgecombe, 4+ assists. And Curry, 6+ assists. The next play, Zion Williamson, 20+ points. Miles Bridges, 15+ points. Brandon Ingram, 15+ points. Cole Anthony, 2+ assists, plus 130. So looking at Cole Anthony's line, was going to play it by itself, but we take it down a little bit. I talked about that Zion Williamson, Miles Bridges matchup earlier. I think both of these guys, with their physicality, they're going to be moving quick, getting to the free throw line, working inside, and I think they're going to be going at each other. We see that a lot, where guys, you start to feel it a little bit when someone's giving you buckets and you want to go right back at them. Both of those two should have no issue. Again, Zion 20+, Bridges 15+, and then Brandon Ingram. I mean, I've talked about it time and time again. He's done this in every game with the Raptors. He's been a good scorer for them. He knows his role there. Now, the last play, we name our parlays occasionally. We've talked about it on here. I like to name a parlay every, few episodes.
Oh, I see where this one's going.
Is the Duke parlay. Who hates Duke more than me? Nobody. But when I was looking at tonight's matchups and things that I saw and how I wanted to play things, I like a lot of Duke guys and Duke on the money line. So here, Duke money line, Zion Williamson 20+ points, Brandon Ingram 15+ points, and Jalen Johnson 6+ rebounds, plus 117. Jalen Johnson is the asterisk because he got kicked off of Duke, left at the beginning of the year. Weird situation. But yeah, he was on Duke for a few weeks. So we do add him into the Duke parlay. I talked about Duke before. I don't see him losing. Zion and BI, we have played a lot of different ways tonight. We need them to show up. And then Jalen Johnson, 6+ rebounds. Go look at what he's doing right now. It is bizarre. Porzingis wants no part of the rebounds. I mean, you could get Porzingis 6+ rebounds, like plus money right now, because Jalen Johnson is stealing everything on the glass. He's an aggressive player. And with Trae Young out, he's been even more aggressive, scoring, assisting, and even more rebounding. He's got 13 boards in 2 of his last 3 games. I do think he shows up tonight, plus 117 here.
Love it. Some might want to add to that Duke parlay Grayson Allen to twist his ankle and Christian Laettner to chip a tooth. I don't know. I wouldn't want that or wish that or bet that, but I'm sure I wasn't the only one who started thinking of all other legs to add on to that. I guess if the Mavs aren't playing tonight, I don't know. I'm looking so far ahead.
No.
There was no Cooper Flag, no Cooper Flag temptation because no Cooper
well.
Flag playing.
He hasn't played that well. I've been staying away from. I did put him in 10 the other night, but I've been trying to stay away a little bit for now.
Yeah, they're kind of a tricky team right now. Look, it's still very early days in the NBA, and obviously college hoops. We're telling you, buyer beware. So that's the show. Ben, let everybody know how we did yesterday. Look, I was way off on the BYU game. The other bets, like, I would go back to the well on McBride. It didn't hit, but, like, it was there. I mean, I wish I didn't tie Cardinals money line for these purposes here with 3 touchdowns for Brissett. I played it other ways, but, like, I like that plus 550. And Brissett had opportunities for a 3rd touchdown pass. It's not like we were off, a whole lot on that one. So, again, I want to get these plays better. What I'm giving out here, I'm trying. You're always anguished over which ones you give out here and whatever. But all our plays are available in the Super Discord, along with our buddy Eric Casilius, who was with us yesterday. You got the QR code if you're watching. If you're a Spotify or an Apple bottom, go to our Twitter feeds. It's right in our bios. You can get the link tree. And we will see you guys tomorrow. More Champions League tomorrow. Fired up about that. You want to bet, we want to bet. Thank you for betting with us.